one brief, shining moment in Sam Phillips' Sun record studio in Memphis, four legends of the Rockabilly era were all in the same place at the same time.
Elvis and Carl and Jerry Lee, all of us had roughly the same background. You know, we lived within 100 miles of the Memphis radio stations. And there was programs on the air like Dewey Phillips' Red Hot and Blue, which they called race music at the time. And we grew up on that kind of music. I would have never written a song like Big River if I hadn't had the black gospel and blues influence.
Now I tossed a weeping willow out of cry, and I showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky, and the tears that I cried for that woman gonna flood you, Big River, and I'm gonna sit right here until I die.
Johnny Cash, when he came in with Marshall Grant and Luther Perkins, and after we got through auditioning, I said, Johnny, we got an interesting sound here, and let's just kind of keep it like that and go with this another time or two and see what happens. Well, I knew in my mind that, wait a minute, when you got that vamp going, tune da da tune da da tune da, you know, I thought, this is John R. Cash, as he wanted to be known.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
When I first came to Nashville, I saw Johnny Cash on stage. I was sitting in the audience. He walked out on that stage. And to this day, and probably till the day I die, even though we forget most things, I'll never forget that feeling. You know, it was just the way he moved and the way he twitched. It just suited me just fine. And I just thought that he was the sexiest thing I'd ever seen.
Johnny Cash can walk out on stage today, just tear an audience to pieces, you know. I learned something. I said, boy, don't ever count country music out. And especially if you've got that rockabilly, which he had. Johnny had it.
I think the secret of the success of rockabilly music is country music with an edge.
First heard that good old rock and roll and rockabilly. I don't know, it was great. I didn't think about it then. I just knew it turned me on, you know, Buddy Holly and songs like Rave On and Peggy Sue and Elvis with the Hound Dog and all that. It was, those were great days.
Rock, 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 everybody. Rock, 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 everybody. Rock, 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 everybody. You rock it and you rock it and you rock it around. Roll, 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 everybody.
To form what we call rock and roll. It came out of R&B, and it came out of hillbilly music, the rockabilly. It came out of pop music. It was a new kind of music that all of us growing up in that period related to. It was something that drew us all together, and the people who lived through the birth of rock and roll know what I'm talking about.
Well, now, what do you think? Oh, it's crazy music, man. That sends me, Jack.
That music sends me, man. It sends me. You gotta dig that music all the way. Rock and roll is cool, Daddy, and you know it.
Rock and roll was happening in pockets all across the country. Buddy Holly in Lubbock, Texas. And Don and I in Knoxville, Tennessee, we were the only kids in school with DuckTales, you know, and all that combination of country and R&B, I guess you could say.
Wake up, little Susie, wake up. Wake up, little Susie, wake up.
We'd get together, Don and I would, and listen to Bo Diddley. And he played a great lick on that Bo Diddley, where did he go? And it was a lick like... Of course, Don, when he got his recording contract, he expanded on that and he played...
When I all that rock and roll was really hot. I was 10 years old, and of course, being a teenager and a kid going into her teens, I was very influenced by that. But we weren't really allowed to listen to a lot of that music because of the religion, the religious background. My grandpa being a Pentecostal holy roller preacher, and I was already bleaching my hair and wearing short skirts, and they thought I was going to hell anyway. But I did love that music. I loved it because it was young and youthful and energetic and playful.
Love's gotta be warm, and love's gotta be right, and this ain't no ice cube that you can rip the night, so don't you dish me out the blue love.
Well, rock and roll did take a bad rap there from the older generation, but hasn't it always been that way? Young people have their music, and the older generation just can't understand it. Country music at that time was taking a back seat to this rockabilly and rock and roll. Almost every kind of music was having to sit back and say, wait, what's happening?